Hi everyone. So I'm down in the bunny den. This is my basement. I apologize. It's not too pretty of a background, but I wanted to really quickly do a video. I'm coming off of doing rum and coke night with Steve, and it was awesome. We had such a great conversation. But anyways, I love hearing them talk nerdy stuff. It's just really awesome, and I'm hoping that I get to join in a lot of those conversations more often because it was really awesome. But, anyways, this video is not about that. It is about New Year's, since New Year's is only a couple of days away. And I thought it would be really cool to read something that I wrote last year and to get your input on it. That would be really awesome. The essay is from a book that I'm writing called hashtag Join the Conversation, and the particular chapter is called hashtag New Year's Resolutions. And I thought it was pretty interesting, and I'm reading it again, and it's still really interesting to me. So I thought I'd just really quickly make a video about it and hopefully get some feedback from you guys, and that would be really awesome. If you do want to read hashtag Join the Conversation, you can read it for free on Wattpad, and the rough draft is there, and you can sit there and do comments on there if you have a different perspective, or if you think that I need to consider something else, or I got something wrong, please let me know. I mean, that's how we learn, right? So that would be really freaking cool. And I'm certainly working on editing a lot of this stuff, which is why I wanted to make this video and get input from people like you, because you guys are super awesome. So anyways, here is Join the Conversation. The chapter is hashtag New Year's Resolutions. Since the New Year's approacheth, I figured now was a perfect time to address what the Bible says about the new year. Obviously, I'm not a Bible scholar, so I did some armchair Googling. New Year plus Bible, and I was not disappointed. It's a cherry picking dream for quote mining. One verse that grinds my gears showed up on numerous websites and blogs. Jeremiah 29:11. Here are the two versions. I actually went and pulled the ESV and the NIV. So Jeremiah 29:11 for the ESV is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." What's so bad about that, right? Oh, just wait. Here's the NIV version. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So, this quote can be found inspiring quote memes galore. Just Instagram Jeremiah 29:11 for notebooks, pillows, decorative wall hangings, and such in its various incarnations and interpretations. Additionally, I found websites and blogs that note about how this quote is often taken out of context, completely ignoring the fact that the sheer thought of context goes against the idea that the Bible is the inerrant word of God. All right, so Caitlin Stickley, one such blogger, states how some people think this verse means, quote, "as if God is going to straighten out everything in your life and never let anything bad happen to you as long as you're a Christian," end quote. I also like that she goes on to try to explain the context of the rest of the story to provide her interpretation. Quote, "He's telling them that their suffering must continue, not that it's going to end," end quote. Then she also continues and says, what we want to happen isn't necessarily in line with God's plan. And I will post the the link to that blog, so that way you can read it and see what if I've taken that out of context. Okay, all right, back to the post. I'll post the full chapter of Jeremiah below because it's a pretty fucked up story. However, you can check out Stickley's interpretation linked below as well. So I'll make sure I link both of those so that way you can read it and you can make your own, your own interpretations. To some, this verse serves to give comfort to people so that they don't sweat the small stuff and to have strength to make it through the big hurdles. These Christians mutters, he has a plan. Others might even state, God's plan works in mysterious ways. Insert gag face here. I have a problem with this mentality. Okay, I don't have a problem with teaching people how to cope with the difficulties of human existence. Life is full of tough decisions and experiences, and it doesn't explain how you can weather these crazy tribulations. And it says that the life you lead is nothing compared to the heaven that awaits you. How can one say, quote, God has a plan, and still maintain that we have free will? It completely disregards a major flaw. Now follow me down the rabbit hole. Here's how my brain processes this information. God created every path that could ever be. Every bad thing that happens is created by that deity. No sin exists until it is created by that deity. Even Satan himself or herself is created by that deity. Or at the very least, the devil, not only to exist, but to torment people is allowed by that deity. If God is all-knowing, they would know exactly how a person with your genetics and knowledge and backgrounds and family and social constructs, how you would react to the experiences on these paths. Therefore, by creating you exactly as you are, you don't really have a choice in how you react to each individual experience. It would be predestined choices created by that deity. There would be no free will. Chew on that cud a little bit. However, my biggest concern is less about free will itself, but with the mentality that this life here doesn't matter. I fear Christians out there can't wait until this suffering ends. They can't wait for their heavenly bliss and to see their families again. That's some scary shit. Or worse, filicide comes to mind. Like the famous trial of Andrea Yates. She drowned her 5 children in a bathtub to save them from hell. However, a quick Google shows she's not the only one. In 2004, Texas trial of Deanna Laney, the prosecutor, described how a mother smashed the head of her infant son with a rock and then led her 2 older boys outside and did the same to them, killing the 2 older boys. This was from a CNN article. And maybe thinking that even if she didn't make it to heaven, at least her innocent children would. And with great examples of Abraham and Jebediah, sorry if I mispronounced that, there are arguments to be had that the Christian deity is okay with people killing their children in his name. Genesis 22, and that's 1 to 12. So not really a big leap, really. And that's really, honestly, that's the hardest part. Because if you're a fundamentalist, really that is the most moral thing to do before they reach the age of reason. And it's horrible. That's a horrible thing. And I also I included a little sidebar in here that said I found an article in People magazine by Chris Harris. By the grace of God, young girls escape murder suicide as their dad kills mom and sister. Ironic, it came up in my search. Kill plus family plus God. I'll also link that one too. But back to the topic. With no deity or afterlife, you create your experiences. The path before you in the coming days is not a pre-paved road, but an ocean of potential opportunities. It is freedom to seek out what makes you happy. And as an American, I believe humans all should have the right to pursue happiness, whatever that means to you. I further tweak this by saying, as long as everyone is consenting, you do you, boo. We don't know that there's an afterlife. At best, all we could ever know for certain is this current human life we experience right now, like time itself. There will never be another moment just as it has been. The time that has passed left the moment it happened, and we will never experience it again. It is special, unique, imperfect, fantastic, and awe-inspiring and challenging. As we go into the new year, I discourage you from putting trust into something that you can't know exists. Instead, decide what you want to do and how you can go about doing it. Be ready for obstacles. They will occur. Get your social circle to help you get over any bumps. Lift the people up around you and help them create new opportunities. Don't just trust that things will work out. Ensure that when you look back, at least you did your best to accomplish it. And let's replace Jeremiah 29:11 quote with this. Don't be a faithful consumer, but a thoughtful experiencer. And I hope you guys will join the conversation. So every year I do a list of goals that I want to do. My continuing quest to learn patient and life coping skills is always number 1. 2 is edit, write, publish, explore story, fantasy, and creativity. I love writing and having conversations like this. 3 is rescue and adopt out homeless animals with a local rescue. For those of you that know me know that I do work a lot with rescuing rabbits and as well as other animals, but mostly rabbits right now. I am a foster home for a local animal rescue, and I absolutely love it. My other nonprofit that I work with is also with writing, and that is with National Novel Writing Month. And in November, maybe I'll write more. I'll let you guys know more about that. So number 4, my 4th goal is to learn more about meta-ethics, philosophy, and ancient literature. I find it so fascinating, and I really want to dig more into those things. I think it's so important for us to continue to always have this hunger for knowledge. And I hope you guys will join me on that path of learning, because I love it. I find it interesting how people think and why people think, and the whole thing about ethics and stuff is really interesting, and one of the reasons why I am vegan. So I think it's an interesting conversation that I don't think we have often enough, honestly. And number 5 is continue driving forward ideas by contributing to the marketplace of intellect by entering into conversations about veganism, morality, religion, politics, and social constructs, which is what I do here with this video. And one of the questions that I leave at the end of this little mini essay is, what are your goals? How do you process the idea of, quote, God's path and God's will? And if you are a theist, I want to hear from you. Like, I don't want to be in an echo chamber, and maybe I am not considering certain things. And so I really do want to hear from you and hear what your perspective is on Jeremiah 29. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that these links are in the description for you guys. And I hope that you guys will leave some comments below what you think about this. Do you find it interesting? What do you think? And please do not hesitate to go check out #join the conversation on Wattpad, so that way you can leave comments and maybe pick apart certain things. And that book is a collection of various essays that have everything to do with, well, mostly controversial topics. I'll warn you there. But it's my opinion, and hopefully backed up by facts and evidence on things like religion and politics and animal ethics and abortion and all of those fun things. So if you like controversial topics like that and want to hear my perspective, that's where you're going to find it. So that's the end of this one. So please leave a comment, and if you want, click on like. And I will see you next time. Bye.